Sa halagang 145K, price starts at 150,000 pesos. Price starts at 220,000. Price starts at 481,000.
Container van.
A shipping container, container home,
Container house.
Container house.
Shipping containers. Container house.
container home, abandoned shipping containers.
Shipping containers. The shipping containers. Shipping container homes and tiny home living.
Shipping container.
Shipping containers.
Shipping container.
Shipping containers from right here in the River City.
You've seen them on social media, beautiful container homes for half the price. But here's what they're not telling you. Hi, I'm Vic from JEMM Builders. And after 30 years in construction, I'm going to show you why container homes are overhyped and completely unsuitable for Philippine conditions. Let's break down exactly why. First major problem, financing. Philippine banks like BDO, BPI, and Metrobank don't treat container homes as real property. They see it as movable property, like a car or furniture. What does that mean for you? You can't get a home loan. And if you can't get a loan, your resale value just crashed because your future buyer can't finance it either. Here's the biggest lie. Container homes are cheaper. Wrong. First, let's talk about transportation. Getting a container to your site isn't as simple as driving it over. You need heavy-duty trucks, special permits, and often a crane just to position it on your lot. The delivery alone can cost a fortune, especially if your property is in a narrow residential area or far from the port. Then there's the crane rental, wire clearing from Meralco lines, and navigating tight streets. After that, you need specialized welders who charge double or triple what traditional masons make. But that's just the start. You still need to pay for plumbing systems. Containers don't come with pipes. Electrical wiring, none of that is included. A proper foundation, you can't just drop a steel box on the ground. Thick insulation, or you'll roast alive. Finishing materials like flooring, walls, and ceilings. And if you want to expand, you'll need additional structural members to support it. The container itself is cheap, but making it a comfortable, livable house, that's where the real cost hits. When you add it all up, container homes cost more or less the same price per square meter than traditional concrete construction. In our tropical climate with salt air, especially in coastal areas like Cavite and Batangas, that steel corrodes fast. You'll need specialized rust-proof paint reapplication every 3 to 5 years. Miss that maintenance. You get holes, rust damage, and your investment loses value like a vehicle, not a house. And let's talk about how long these homes actually last. Traditional concrete homes in the Philippines can last 50 to 100 years with proper care. Container homes, you're looking at 25 years maximum, and that's only if you take care of it religiously. Why? Because shipping containers were designed for 10 to 15 years of moving cargo across oceans, not for permanent housing. Being constantly exposed to our tropical heat, humidity, and salty air speeds up rust from the inside out. Even with rust-proof paint and regular maintenance, the steel breaks down much faster than concrete. And here in the Philippines, we get hit by an average of 20 typhoons every year, plus seasonal flooding. The thin steel walls and light materials used in container homes simply can't handle the beating that concrete structures can. One strong typhoon or extended flooding can cause serious damage that cuts the already short lifespan even more. You're basically buying a house with an expiration date. Now let's talk health. Most used shipping containers have floors soaked in methyl bromide, a powerful pesticide used to kill insects during ocean transport. This chemical is odorless, and long-term exposure causes respiratory problems and neurological damage. But that's not all. Think about this. You don't know what was stored in that container for the last 15 years. Acids, pesticides, industrial waste. In our 34-degree heat, those ghost chemicals trapped in the corners and seams create a toxic environment. Now, yes, there are brand new containers made specifically for living, but here's the catch. They cost significantly more than used ones, which defeats the whole affordable housing promise in the first place. That paint on the container, it's marine grade designed for cargo ships, not homes. It contains high levels of lead and chromate. Under our intense Philippine sun, this paint breaks down into toxic dust that your family breathes in daily. Industrial coatings have no place around children. Here's the engineering nightmare. Steel conducts heat 400 times faster than concrete. In Philippine humidity at 34 degrees Celsius, the inside of an uninsulated container can hit 55 degrees. You'll need your AC running 24/7 just to survive. And to meet basic thermal comfort standards, you need thick insulation that shrinks your already narrow 8-foot interior down to 7 feet. You're living in an expensive hallway. But wait, there's more problems with that structure itself. Containers get their strength from being one solid piece, but here's the critical part. They're only structural at their 4 corner posts. Everything depends on those corners. Every window or door you cut for ventilation weakens that strength and requires expensive steel or wood reinforcement. And here's the problem. Most local welders don't have the certified skills for this type of structural work. The result? Roof sagging, structural weakness, and safety risks over time. And speaking of roofs, container roofs are not structural at all. They dent easily if you even step on them. One maintenance job on the roof could ruin the entire structure. And speaking of that narrow space I just mentioned, here's something most people don't realize until it's too late. Standard shipping containers are only 8 feet wide. That's already narrow. But once you add insulation to survive the heat, install plumbing and electrical systems, and put in proper flooring, you lose even more space. What you're left with is a cramped, tight box that feels more like a hallway than a home. And if you want to expand, you'll need to go through expensive procedures, cutting, reinforcing, adding structural support, and hiring specialized welders all over again. You're stuck with a fixed size that limits how you can actually live. So there you have it, 8 reasons why container homes are overhyped for Philippine conditions. They cost about the same, or even more, than traditional concrete homes, risk your family's health, and lose value fast. Now, to be fair, container homes do have some advantages. Wall panels can be replaced individually if damaged, making repairs easier, and since they're modular, they can be dismantled and moved to a different location if you need to relocate. For young, starting families who aren't overly particular about space, finishes, or long-term value, and who view it as a temporary stepping stone rather than a forever home, a container home might work as a short-term solution. But these benefits don't outweigh the serious drawbacks for permanent family housing or as a long-term investment. So what are your better options? Consider light gauge steel or LGS. This construction method is widely used as the standard in Europe and the United States, yet it remains underutilized here in the Philippines. LGS offers genuine cost effectiveness, superior structural integrity, and most importantly, it's a construction method that actually appreciates in value over time. Companies like ours at JEMM Builders have specialized in LGS construction precisely because of these long-term benefits. Traditional reinforced concrete also remains a proven and reliable choice for Filipino homeowners. If you want to build smart and avoid these expensive mistakes, I've broken down 30 years of construction experience into another video that could save you months of frustration and hundreds of thousands of pesos. It should be on your screen now.